might as well rock and roll.
Yes, guys, big up to everyone. How is everyone doing? Hope you're all doing good again today. Welcome back to another show, guys. Welcome back to another show. This is going to be the calling show part 2, guys, and we're going to carry on our conversations from yesterday. Guys, before we start this video today, don't forget to hit that like button and go and smash the subscribe button if you've not done so already. I'd appreciate it. Got lots to talk about, guys. I'm actually in my own office now, so I've actually changed rooms in my house. I've actually got my own room, my own office now, so the background's going to change a little bit. I've got to get some more stuff for the background and stuff like that. Yeah, but I'm in my own room now, so big up to everyone. This much better. Can do my own thing, and yeah, we can chill. But big up to everyone in the chat. Hit that like button, smash that like. Yeah, today we're talking about FSG. Have FSG let Jurgen Klopp down? Have they let Jurgen Klopp down? That's what we're going to be chatting about today. There's lots of discussions online at the moment, obviously, with teams buying other players, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to talk about because everyone's in a panic. Everyone's in a panic right now. Everyone's stressing out. The geese we're meant to be buying, and from RB, his payment runs out tomorrow for his release clause, which, in my opinion, means we're going to buy him for a better deal the following week. Personally, we haven't got Turan through the door yet. We ain't got Kone through the door yet, and fans are upset and angry about it. They're seeing today Pau Torres going to Aston Villa. People getting their knickers in a twist about that. Don't know why. He's all right. He's not great. Obviously, Arsenal have got the signing of Declan Rice done. And then the other thing that peed and freaked off the whole fan base. Do you know what freaked out the whole Liverpool fan base today? Is a rumour come out from absolutely nowhere that apparently Arsenal are looking at Tchouaméni. So that Arsenal looking at Tchouaméni, yeah. So the whole fan base is like, oh my God, what is going on? We can't compete. Man United, look, by the sounds of it, are just wrapping up the deal for Mason Mount. 60 million quid with 1 year left on his deal. Man United are buying Mason Mount for £60 million with 1 year left on his deal. Atrocious. That is awful. Absolutely awful. I don't get it. People going nuts. I don't get it, man. 60 million quid for Mason Mount. I've been saying this for a while. Liverpool don't know how to sell anyone. Liverpool don't know how to sell people anymore. They got 60 million quid for Mason Mount with a year left in his contract. Who do we sell? We don't sell anyone. We don't know how to sell anyone. We are useless in the transfer market. Absolutely useless. And, we can't sell a thing. We can't sell a flea to a cat. We just can't do anything, guys. We are useless in the transfer market where selling is coming from. And we're meant to be a buy-to-sell football club. That's the joke of it all. Our philosophy is sell to buy. We don't sell anyone. We let everyone go for free. So there's no money to spend on anyone. It's club. It makes no sense. We are a sell to buy football team. That is the way we operate under FSG. We don't sell anybody. So how the hell are we meant to make any money? To buy anyone? It's mad. Absolutely mad. Thank God Man United took Mason Mount off everyone's worries. I mean, that's Man United's problem. That's Man United's issues next season. That's up to them. So Szoboszlai, or wherever you pronounce his bloody name, Hungarian international. Liverpool are hungry for him, no pun intended, to get him through. Right, so the reports are Szoboszlai's contract has a release clause that ends tomorrow. He has a release clause that ends tomorrow. And There is no way Liverpool go pay that release clause. So after tomorrow, Liverpool can buy a Szoboszlai for a better deal that suits both parties. You know, you can do installment. Liverpool like doing installment transfers. And I ain't got a problem with installment transfers. More people do it than people think. But they've got to, if they're looking at him and they're really wanting him, this is the thing I don't get with Liverpool Football Club. They look at a player like Szoboszlai and they go, and then like you talk to him, they really like him. They've already said personal terms for him is no problem whatsoever. Personal terms are no problem. They've already spoke to him. David Ornstein said there's a report, and Fabrizio Romano said about this report as well, that Liverpool has spoken to his representation. They've spoken to the football club to get permission to speak to Szoboszlai. They spoke to his agent. So if they've done all that work, they then can't be confused by the price tag, because that makes no sense. No, if there's a price tag, they know, oh, he's got a £60 million buyout clause. Okay, we'll continue talking to him. Yeah, we really like him. We want him to be our player. So so there must be. That's what I don't get about Liverpool. This happens all the time. You hear that Liverpool are really interested in a player. They're actually speaking to him. They're actually talking to his agent, talking to the club. Personal terms not an issue. But then you get to the crucial point in the quote where they go, but the payment of the transfer might be too high for Liverpool Football Club. So why are we looking at him then? What? Like, literally, what is the point? What is the point? Yeah, I don't go past a Gucci shop and go, right, I'm going to go in here because I really like that shirt in there. I really like that shirt. I'm going to have a look at it. I know it's going to be expensive before I go through the door. You know, I know how much that shirt is going to cost before I even go through the door. Why would I bother asking about it? I know it's expensive. So why look at players? Why talk to players? Why have conversations with their agents and the football clubs and then back out going, oh, shit, sorry, we didn't know you £60 million. What sort of research is this? What sort of research is this? I can do this research without leaving my house. I can literally do this research without leaving my house. Liverpool Football Club, call me. I can just do the research for you. I can just do it from here. Oh, Szoboszlai, transfer market, value. Oh, what's that? Oh, he's got a £70 million, a €70 million release clause. Oh, okay, let me get on the phone. Ding, 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 ding. Right. Yeah, he's got a £70 million release clause. Are you still interested? Are you still interested? He's got a £70 million release clause. Are you still interested in him? I've done the work. There's the research. Yeah, we're interested. We're going to talk to him. Okay, you go and talk to him. Don't bring this back on me, you piece of shit. Right? Hangs up the phone. They go and talk to him. Oh, we didn't know the price. And I'm sitting there going, hang on. I told you the price. It's just, I don't get this football club. I don't get it. I really, really, really don't understand this football club anymore. You know, I don't get this football club anymore. I don't understand it. You know, and I only really talk about these matters when I know the club is talking to players. So when Paul Joyce and David Ornstein and Fabrizio Romano have actually come out and all said that, you know, the club are actually looking at him and they've spoken to him and they've spoken to his representation. And, you know, the Liverpool were out in Germany all last week talking to him. Big George was out there doing the work. And then they go and say, oh, but the money issue is the problem. Why chat to him? Why even bring it up? Why even tweet it? This is what I don't get. Why even tweet it? Why put it out in the atmosphere? What's the point? What is the point? It got everyone excited yesterday. Everyone's reading that tweet. Oh, Liverpool in for Szoboszlai. This came out of nowhere. Oh my God, this is the player we've actually been looking for. And they keep reading the quote, keep reading the quote, all excited. And they get to the bottom and it goes, but because of his buyout clause, it might not be possible to do. So what is the point? Why tweet it? What's the point? We're not like, stop tweeting this shit because it's getting the fan base upset and angry. There is no point to it. There is no point. Only tweet something if you go, right, they've spoken to Szoboszlai. This is on. Liverpool, this is on. You know, it's going to happen, Liverpool fans. They're really, like, the buyout clause is not a problem. They're going to pay it. Everything's sweet. Everything's sweet as a nut. There's nothing to worry about. This is all good news, Liverpool fans. And then they're like, no. The buyout clause is a problem. Who's doing our research? I want to know right now, who is in charge of Liverpool's research for footballers? When they go in the transfer market, who's doing that job now? Who's sitting there at the computer and the data and doing that job? You've only got to make one phone call to the agent of that player and he will tell you, yeah, he's got a release clause or so-and-so. And you go, cheers, Alfred. Put the phone down. Move on to the next target. But no, not this football club. No, not this football club. Oh, it's just like, no, we'll put the tweet out. Oh, yeah, David Ornstein. Oh, David Ornstein's on the phone. Oh, great. All right, Ornstein, yeah, okay, look, Liverpool are looking at this player. Yeah, Szoboszlai. Yeah, I'm going to give you some news now, Szoboszlai. We're looking at him. We've spoken to him. We've spoken to the agent. We've spoken to the club. Everything's sweet. Yeah, everything's sweet. But the buyout clause is a problem. Do you mind tweeting that? Yeah, cheers. I mean, is that what they're doing? This club drives me mad. It drives me mad. Absolutely mad. Now, the thing that annoys me as well, guys, this is the thing that annoys me the most. The release clause or the buyout clause or whatever you want to bloody call it ain't even that much money. This is the thing that's even peeing me off even more. It's 60 million English pound. Yeah? That's what it is. Pay it. It's not even that much money. If it was £100 million buyout clause, I'd be like, all right, fair enough. That's a lot of money for a buyout clause. It might not work. That's a huge gamble. Okay, I'm all right with that. I'm sweet at that. It's 60 million quid. It's 60 million quid. I'm not asking for much here, guys. The club needs to show ambition. Show ambition. Go and get these footballers in. And then you read today, I love this one. This is my favourite one that is always tweeted about a footballer. Right, this is my favourite one. You're going through Twitter, you know, oh, what's Fabrizio and David Ornstein said now? Oh, what they said now? Oh, all right. Jurgen Klopp is a big fan of Szoboszlai and has asked Liverpool management to bring him to Anfield. Right, that's the one you always read. Every time we're interested in a player, I keep spitting on my computer, I don't know why. Every time we're interested in a player, what do we get? That quote on Twitter all the time. Jurgen Klopp is a big fan of so-and-so. Jurgen Klopp is a big fan of so-and-so. Jurgen Klopp is a big fan of so-and-so. Jurgen Klopp is a big fan of that. 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 And nothing ever happens. Do you know what we do? We actually buy the players Jurgen Klopp's not a big fan of. That's what we do. We buy the players that Jurgen Klopp is not a big fan of. So, Jurgen, you're a big fan of Julian Brandt, eh? Excellent. Here's Mo Salah. To be fair, that worked. Oh, Jurgen Klopp, you're a big fan of Mario Götze. Mario Götze, massive fan of Mario Götze. Here's Sadio Mane. To be fair, that worked. The only player Liverpool bought that Jurgen Klopp was a big fan of was Karius. And we all know that what happened there. That is literally the only player in recent time we have literally gone and bought that Jurgen Klopp was a massive fan of, that he really, really wanted. That, you know, I want this player. Jurgen Klopp wanted Timo Werner. We went and got Diogo Jota. He wanted Salah. We got Sane. He wanted Götze. We got Mane. You know, there's other players he wanted and we got different, yeah? The only player he's actually ever wanted, legitimately wanted, and was a massive fan of, and wanted the club to go and get him, was Karius. Karius! And Naby Keita. And Naby Keita. Big up, who said that in the chat? Captain Sal. Naby Keita and Karius are the two players Jurgen Klopp really, really wanted that we went and got for him. And how did they turn out? Dog turd. And then you can put a third in there. Let's talk about him. Darwin Núñez. Well, I'll sort out my light. What the hell's going on here? There we go. Darwin Núñez. Let's talk about it. That is a player, apparently Jurgen Klopp told Liverpool management he really wanted, go and get me Darwin Núñez. So they went, all right, Jurgen, what you want is what you get, my son. Here's Darwin Núñez. Who's the three players that Klopp wanted that hasn't really worked out? Darwin, Naby Keita, Karius. The Thiago thing was, if you go back to, there's a documentary Liverpool did when they won the Premier League, yeah? After we won the Premier League, they did a documentary that summer. Go and watch it, guys. Liverpool Golden Summer, or something like that it's called, right? And they talk about Thiago in there. And Thiago was brought up in a meeting with Jurgen Klopp and Pep Linders, right? Thiago was brought up in a meeting, right, because Mark Edwards was looking at him, and they told him how much they cost, that we could get Thiago for 25 million. Klopp and Pep couldn't believe it, and they went, yeah, of course, if you can get him for 25 million, go and get him. It's in that documentary. Klopp speaks about it many times. Many times. It's just madness. Matip. VVD. The club wanted VVD more than apparently Klopp did. That's what I've heard. VVD. Yeah, all right, I'll give you VVD, actually. And then he almost fucked that up. Let's not forget that. Guys, let's not forget Virgil van Dijk. We almost never bought him because Klopp messed it up by talking to Virgil illegally. So don't forget that. We almost messed that up. And then we had to pay £25 million extra to get the player in. So Virgil, Matip, who was a free transfer, Karius, Naby Keita, and Darwin Núñez. As I said, Thiago was given to him. Grujic. What happened to Grujic? Jurgen Klopp's first ever transfer at Liverpool Football Club. Played what, 3 minutes? Played 3 minutes. Yeah, it's just. And what I'm saying by all this is, yeah, guys, this is what I'm getting at. Look, managers don't always get the players they want off their ownership, yeah? That happens all over the world. It's not just Liverpool Football Club, yeah? This happens all over the world. All managers want certain players that come to their football club. And at that football club, they have people in charge doing data, analyst work, all this sort of thing, scouting and all this sort of thing. And they will come back to that manager and go, look, we know you want blah, but we got this player who we think's a lot better and suit you a lot better. We're going to go and get him. And the manager's like, all right, cool. As long as he's talented, they go and get him and it works out. Yeah. That happens all over the world, to be fair. Happens at every club. There's no doubt about that. You know, you look at Chelsea. How many of them players at Chelsea did Graham Potter want? How many of them players at Chelsea did Thomas Tuchel want? It's why they all got the sack. Because they were buying players the managers didn't want, man. That's the thing. So it happens everywhere. But where I go back to Szoboszlai, if Szoboszlai is wanted by Jurgen Klopp, and he's a £60 million player, and this still come out of nowhere, right? This talk come out of nowhere for him, yeah? And at the same time, you've got Big George, who came in, and we were told that Big George is coming in as a sporting director over the summer, so he can go into the German transfer market and look at the German transfer market. Now, Szoboszlai plays, obviously, for RB. So He's over there going, right, this is the player we want. He come out of nowhere. So I'm looking at it now and thinking, right, give the player the Klopp. If he literally wants him, go and get him. He's £60 million. He's £60 million. Go and get him. Just go and get him. He can play central midfield and he can play right wing. He's very versatile. We keep on about that. We got no one for Salah's cover, and he can play in that central midfield area, and he can play in that right wing area. So maybe go and get him. If he's very versatile, Klopp loves versatile players. He keeps saying that all the time. He absolutely loves versatile players. He can play numerous positions for him. Go and get him. Go and get him. But Liverpool won't do that. And this is where I keep saying that FSG go let him down. Because I'm looking at it now, right? I'm looking at it now. Arsenal are doing business, yeah? They're going to spend 170 million on just two players, right? And Kai Havertz and Declan Rice, 170 million spent like that. Gone, done, right? Are they the best players in the world? Are they going to make them better? Who knows? But they've gone and spent 170 million. Aston Villa are buying players. They buy some players that people might like. You know, Brighton are getting players in. Brighton are looking at that geezer from Ajax that everyone keeps raving about. Is it Kudos or something like that? The player from Ajax everyone keeps raving about. Brighton are looking at him. And I'm thinking now, I'm sitting there now going, right, I used to be an FSG apologist. I'll tell everyone right now. I used to be an FSG apologist. I used to sit here for many years defending FSG. I did. I admit it. And I know a lot of other people did. You know, people just pretend they never did, but a lot of people did, right? But I admit it, I turned the corner because I'm sitting here now and I'm thinking, hang on. How can a team that has made so much money in the last few years not be able to spend £60 million on someone's release clause? You cannot tell me that this football club does not generate enough cash alone not to buy someone for 60 million quid. You know what I mean? That's my thing at it. That's where I look at. If we can, surely the club can go and buy players without selling first or whatever. We must make enough money now in our revenue pockets. We must make enough money as a football club. We must generate enough money as a football club. You're telling me that Brighton and Aston Villa are generating so much more money than Liverpool that they can outspend Liverpool every year. Now, I'm not always talking about outspending. You know, this outspending thing, you know, goes a bit over the top sometimes when people go, oh, West Ham spent more in Liverpool last season. Yeah, what did that do them? Yeah, they won the Conference League, but they almost got relegated as well. You know, there's outspending teams and they're spending correctly. As I've always said, you know, I've always said, if they're the right player, they're the right price. You know, should we have not bought McAllister for 35 million and gone and bought another midfielder who might not be better than McAllister only because he cost 70 to 80 million? That would be balmy. That would be stupid. But we can't sit here and pretend like everyone's spending. Are you telling me we are the poorest football club in the Premier League? Are we the poorest football club in the Premier League? I need to know. Because what I'm looking at right now is teams that are nowhere near as popular as we are, that generate as much money that we do. You got to remember, we generate money just being Liverpool Football Club. It's one of them things. You know, you will generate money just being Liverpool Football Club because who you are, the history you got. That's going to generate more money than Brighton will ever do. But they can go and outspend Liverpool. Bournemouth can go and outspend Liverpool in the summer. Aston Villa can go and outspend Liverpool. Arsenal can go and outspend Liverpool. So are we actually that poor? Are we actually that poor? Makes no sense to me. Do you know what it is? I think FSG have got a structure that they're not willing to get rid of. I think FSG can spend more money on this football club if they want to. I think if FSG wanted to, they could easily go to RB and go, here's your £60 million release clause. for the, I can't remember his name now. Szoboszlai. There's your £60 million release clause for him. Thank you very much. Job done. Get the deal done. They can do it. I know they can. But I saw something written by Paul Joyce today in the paper, and Paul Joyce was basically talking about that FSG have got themselves in such a position now where they think they can buy bargain players and keep to the same structure that won them the Premier League and Champions League. This is where FSG are at. They think they can stay at the same structure because a few years ago we won the Premier League and Champions League. They're not realising that football changes within the season, let alone in years. Like in a season, football can change on its head like that. Like that. And that's where you've got to move on. You've got to carry on. You can't keep finding bargains. I've never been one of these fans who think Jurgen Klopp performed miracles, because that's bollocks, yeah? If he was going to perform a miracle, he'd win the league next season. That's a miracle. Yeah, when we won the league and the Champions League, we had a very good squad. I don't want Liverpool, and this is another thing that irritates me about Liverpool fans right now. They pretend, Liverpool fans now pretend that we never had a good squad when we won the Premier League and Champions League. I love this. This is the best thing ever. All right, they say this all the time. Yeah, they say this all the time now because of where we are at the moment. Yeah, but they forget. So they go, oh yeah, we never had a good squad. You know, Jurgen Klopp's performed miracles on this shoestring budget and all this sort of stuff. I'm like, what are you chatting about? So how did we win the Premier League? It's the hardest league in the world, yeah? The Premier League is the hardest league in the world. How did we win the Premier League? Oh, it was a Jurgen Klopp miracle. Oh, was it? So all them players that you lot call world class, you can no longer call them that. So never call Salah world class again. Never call Trent world class again. Never call Alisson world class again. Virgil. All these players, they're all tin pot shit. Yeah? Tin pot shit. It was Jurgen Klopp and his miracle. Is that what we're saying? Because that's absolute nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. We have one of the best front threes in world football. One of the scariest front threes in world football with Bobby, Mane and Salah. And apart from Barcelona at the time, and I think that was just coming to the end of their peak of Neymar, Salah and Neymar, Suarez and Messi. It's arguably the best front three in world football. Yeah, Virgil and Matip. They're one of the best combinations of centre-backs in Europe. No one can get past them. Trent was amazing. Liverpool fans up and down the world were calling Trent the best right-back in world football. Are we going to pretend these conversations never happened? Robbo was being named. Oh, you can't get a bit of left-back and Robbo. Robbo is out this world. I can't believe we got him for 8 million from Hull. How did we pull this off? He's now one of the best left-backs in world football. According to Liverpool fans, apparently, that never happened. And then Alisson Becker, best goalkeeper in the world. Hands down, best goalkeeper in the world. Oh, Alisson Becker's out of this world. And then we win Premier League and Champions Leagues. And you wonder why. Because we've got quality players. But according to Liverpool Twitter, Jurgen Klopp miracle. We've always had duds. Everyone's shit. It's just mad. It's just. And then people say, oh, FSG didn't win us them leagues. It was Klopp. It's like, go away. Stop. Just stop right now. Just stop. Right? I don't like FSG, yeah? But Klopp didn't buy any of them players. Klopp didn't scout any of them players. The club did. Yeah? No. People might not like this, yeah? People might not like this, yeah? But it's a fact. It's an absolute fact. We, as a team, as a club, scouted and looked for players, yeah? Salah came in, Bobby came in, Mane came in, Fabinho came in, yeah? Genie came in, Alisson came in, Robbo came in, Matip came in, Kanate came in. Yeah, now you got Luis Diaz there now. You got Darwin Núñez there now. You got Gakpo there now. You know, Klopp didn't buy everyone. Yeah, this is what I'm trying to say. It's just madness. Look, when they won the Champions League and Premier League, Liverpool, the club was at the top of its game, from top to bottom. from owners to the manager to the players to the canteen staff to everybody at the football club. They was at the top of their game for them 2 years. There's no doubt about it. But then they fucked up. Then they messed up. They completely messed up and took their eye off the ball. And then they went, all right, okay, we'll keep buying these cheap players, all right, because Jurgen Klopp can keep producing this and bringing us this far and stuff like that. Only 2 seasons ago, we almost completed football, won a quadruple. Yeah, but we didn't. We won the domestic double. As much as I love that, FA Cup and League Cup, love it. I'll never take that back. But we lost the Premier League on the last day of the season, and we lost the Champions League final to Real Madrid, who we haven't beaten years. You took your eye off the ball. You didn't go. And now you look at last summer's transfer window, there's only one player left, and that's Darwin Núñez. Literally, last summer's transfer window, everyone we bought, apart from Darwin Núñez, has gone. What a disaster. So again, I ask, has FSG let Klopp down? Oh, it's annoying. Right, let's get some people in here to have their say on everything, yeah, because I've got to chill. I've got to chill, man. All right, let's put that in. Right, links in the chat, guys. Make sure you come in. I'll pin it in the chat as well. Hang on. Pin message. I'm absolutely sweating here. It's nuts. Big up my man here, the super chat. Let me just get this super chat up before we get everyone else in the house. Vocabon, big up, man. The first time Klopp's quality for Champions League with Liverpool, we spent 75 million on 7 players. Arsenal just qualified Champions League after God knows how many years they've already spent 110 million on 2 players already. Yeah, I agree, man. I'm not going to disagree with you. Guys, there's also something I need to show everyone as well before I get the guys in. Guys, 1 second before I get you guys in. I just want everyone to watch this first. I want everyone to watch this.
So that's what I can say. We will bring in players. I'm pretty sure that we bring in the players we want and the players who will help us. I'm pretty confident that we never know 100% until they're signed. But that's not new. Usually we got the players we wanted, and if we want them, and we can, that one thing is then can we afford them, and then they are here. That's how it is. We will spend in the summer. So that's what I can say. Definitely, the club will spend in the summer. Definitely. For who and how many and stuff like this. There's nothing to say about really. Still Liverpool. So, and that means we are really attractive for a lot of players, and should not forget that. And that's why I'm not concerned about that fact. Of course, everything is more difficult without Champions League. That's how it is, especially in the long term. So we should not do these kind of things more often. These talks are extremely important. They are, because you just need to know where he stands. What does he want to reach? What does he want to achieve? What does he wants to do? How is he? I think you get only a feeling for a person when you really speak to him. It's about the human behind the player, the boy behind the player, the family, all these kind of things. And that's a bit more difficult here, but fine. We look in all parts, in all areas of the pitch. We have a look, definitely. So.
Or do you think it's slightly changed somewhat because now it is confirmed that you won't be in the Champions League? Does that delay or hamper your ability to get business?
I don't think so, but we will see. I don't think so. But that's obviously possible. There will be, that always is possible, that things don't go as quick as you want. It's not only possible, it's probably likely, because there is always the better the player is you want, the lesser is the desire of the other club to let him go. So, and that's exactly what we have to prepare for, what we are prepared for. But it's a long window, and it's a long preseason and a long break in between. And so we have time. If we get the new players in tomorrow or in 6-7 weeks, it's not it's not a game changer for me, to be honest. In the idle world, they're all signed tomorrow, and I can tell them when they have to be here. We can start giving them the plans for the summer break and these kind of things, but that's will not happen like this. So, all good.
Words from the manager there, the words from the boss there. Yeah, let's get the guys on to talk about this, I think. Right, let's get the guys on here. There we go. Where are we? You all right, guys? How are we? How are we all?
What's up, Jamie?
How you
We're
doing,
good.
mate?
Make up
All
Jimmy,
good.
mate.
What's up? You all right?
Albert, you look knackered.
Yeah,
You
I'm
look-
tired. I'm
you look
tired. I just went for an exam. I'm tired.
Oh, you all right?
I'm good.
Good man, good man.
Jamie, you just went to the gym, dear. I'm tired mentally, and I'm tired. I'm tired of Liverpool. I'm tired
Why tired?
physically. It's just same fucking thing every day, innit?
Why you gotta be tired? Because it's like putting a donkey in a horse race and expecting it to win. You can't be tired of the same year.
The difference is that I'm always told that next race there will be a horse, there will be a thoroughbred, and it's always the same. The worst part of it is that it's always the same fucking donkey, right? It's not even a different donkey; it's the same fucking donkey, right?
No, Albert, you got to realize.
Fucking dromedary with a fucking donkey with a fucking hump on its back.
There are no more wild horses in the world, so the only horses that you're gonna ever get is underneath a car engine.
Arsenal have just spent £220 million. They are just finishing up with Julian Timber, right? And we are still talking about state ownership. What are we doing? We are appreciating players. We are liking them. We are observing them. We are pissing in their yard. We are shitting in their pool. What the fuck is wrong with these owners? But even worse than that, we have a fan base that is almost functionally illiterate. So they tell you,
no, Albert, before you continue, you can't say only a fan base. You got to include some of these content creators because
they're all fans.
Well, no, because they differ themselves from us. Because when you hear some of them speak, when we make a comment or even go live on a show, we are not on their level because they are the almighty, knowledgeable football.
This morning, some of the so-called fucking locals had the nerve to tell me they were going to report my Twitter account because they what did they say? Because I don't know what I'm talking about. And I just went off the hizzle.
Well, okay.
For 47 fucking years, I've been supporting that fucking team, right? In 1989, I was a student from Ghana in Swansea, and I hopped on a train and I went to Hillsborough. What the fuck are they talking about? That you don't know what you're talking about? Because you are not a local.
It's not even that. You know
every
what gets me?
fucking year, I get up, I board an aircraft, and I go. This year, I spent a month watching both home and away games. And then they tell you, because one of them even told me I was speaking foreign English on Twitter. And I said, you know what? Now I know why the Tories dealt with you fucking illiterates. You recognize foreign language, foreign English on Twitter? You do that? But we are not interested. We are not interested in finding out what is going on. They say, FSG are not taking any money out of the club. If you buy something for 300 million and 12 years later, it is worth 12 times the price, that is taking money out of the club because when you sell it, you have a bumper harvest. If FSG bought Dillingham or Hillingdon FC or fucking MK Dons, will it be worth 4 billion pounds today? A bunch of fucking illiterates. So, I'm tired. Let them do whatever they want to do. If they like, they should get Alex Scott. They should get Ward Prowse.
I like
They
it.
can add what's his name? They can even add the striker for Leicester, what's his name? Jamie Vardy, right? Or if they like, they shouldn't get anybody at all. We'll fucking play with Hendo. I don't earn 15 million pounds a year. What we do here is purely voluntary, right? Purely voluntary. Oh, fuck that.
Wow, Albert.
I agree. I don't get it. I literally don't get it. Look, I'm not always about. I don't care about what other teams spend. My issue is that we are Liverpool Football Club, and you can't tell me that being Liverpool Football Club alone would generate us more money than, say, Brighton and West Ham would ever generate in their lifetimes. Yeah, just being Liverpool alone because of the size of the football club. You can't tell me we have like Szoboszlai is there. Yeah, for me, he's an easy transfer to go and get done. It's so easy to go and get done. It will be no problems whatsoever. You can't tell me the owners can't afford to buy him for 60 million quid on his buy. They can, but they won't because they're stuck in their structure. Well, they won't come out of it.
No, Jamie. You know what? You give them too much credit. It's you see what you said from a while ago, and this is why I tell people, English language easy to speak, hard to understand. Klopp is the root of the problem, and a lot of people don't want to acknowledge that. When you say Klopp or you hate Klopp, right? It has had people who have gone to the point where they say we're ungrateful, right? And these content creators, I'm going to confront them on that. I'll tell them, you know what is grateful? Grateful is getting up every morning and being able to breathe and go to the bathroom and eat and stuff. That is grateful, right? Klopp is not working for free. Klopp gets 15 goddamn million pounds a year. So I don't want to hear about being grateful, right? They all talk about, one of the greatest managers and stuff, right? Barron, when he was at Dortmund, what he has won here in Liverpool, they like to count, but then in the same breath, they discount the FA Cup and all the other smaller cups. But then when it's convenient, they count them together. The problem I have with Klopp, right? And as I said, I'm glad he did what he did, but now I'm at the point, I'm not walking up and saying, get out, but he can't leave fast enough for me. Because again, you went and you buy Nunez, but you turn around now and you make in a press conference, he's a project. Did Man City buy Grealish and say he's a project and not play him? Then again, as I said, you constantly play players out of their position. Develop a player what he's good at, and then after he has reached the pinnacle of that, then you can say, you know what, okay, well, I'm an idiot to fill in here. But this nonsense about, you want players who can do many things. I'm military. You ever hear the military go and say, we want a jack of all trades for the goddamn army? They ain't going to get nowhere because engineer is going to be an engineer. The computer guy is going to be a computer guy, right? You can't expect the computer guy now to turn around and go and run the trenches and charge the enemy lines. So as I said, makes no damn sense. And Klopp is very content and with what FSG is doing, and FSG love Klopp because he does not say anything. Kanate and Van Dijk spoke up. People say, well, why Klopp ain't speaking up? You know, the first say, no, he can't do that, right? He can't do that because he's the leader. I'm military.
Add Jota has also spoken up.
Trust and believe me. You think if you is the leader of men in the army and they having a gripe and they speaking up and you as their sergeant or whoever, we're not talking about the officer, and you don't talk up about the conditions or whatever the beef is, you think they're going to respect you? You think you're going to last there for long? So as I said, at the end of the day, Klopp is the beginning and the end of the problem. Carvalho, we went through court shit for Carvalho now where they sent him. loan them out because the guy can't break the squad even if everybody injured because Klopp had his favorites. Right? People don't want to acknowledge this. And as I said, people will think, oh, I got an agenda. It's not an agenda. It's the goddamn facts. Right? End the conversation. Steven Gerrard's nephew, a couple of years ago, you all will know it, the story better than me, where he had this big breakout with the club and he left under acrimonious circumstances. But now you're seeing where there was smoke, there's fire, because it all came down to you're not giving me the chance to play goddamn ball. Right? You getting Steve Harvey Elliott and you really expect him to supplant Salah when Salah's out of action? Give me a goddamn break.
I mean, I think you're right about a lot of it, but I don't think that it's as polarizing as you're making it out to be. I agree with you that Klopp makes many mistakes, and being in top four was certainly within our grasp if we just changed our formation a month early. But at the same time, you know, FSG gave him 160 million to buy Luis Diaz and Gakpo and Nunez. So I'll give you that. He's been misspending funds, but it doesn't change the fact that ultimately what we can see just through the financial investment that FSG is putting in is that their priority is not to win. And when your priority isn't to win, you're never going to take titles. Like Man City's the perfect example because the owner of Man City, Sheikh Mansour, what does he want most in life? He wants to fill his trophy case up so that all of his friends can see all of his trophies and see how big his dick is, right? Like that's what he wants.
I'm not cutting you off, but you see what you just said there? It's his own club, because guess what? If Klopp is not getting the stuff, you know what he can do? He can tell FSG, guess what? Kiss my ass, I'm out. What are they going to do? Tell me, seriously, FSG was to lose Klopp today or tomorrow, they will shit their pants.
But would you leave? But would you leave if you're getting paid 15 million a year?
Well, I don't even think it's that.
I would, because let me tell you why. It's called something principle. Never let money be the factor on how you live. Because when you start going down that slope, I can tell you, it's not going. You're always going to sell your soul.
I said that a long time ago. Klopp sold out.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So this is what I'm saying.
The money got to him. The fame got to him. The adverts, the keys to the city.
And the end of the problem. Because as I said, if you're let's just say I graduated from Harvard, mega whatever, top of the class in the past 20 years. I walk into a job like Microsoft, right? Microsoft and Apple, the two giants. And I'm supposed to be creme of the creme. And I tell Microsoft, all right, I need this to do this and I need this to do that. They're not supporting me. My product is being put out and I'm looking weak. You telling me, oh yeah, well, you know what? Microsoft pay me $20 million a year. So I'm going to just chill with that because they pay me $20 million. Then that shows lack of ambition. I'm sorry.
I mean,
what's really interesting what you're saying is, and you need to look at history, by the way. This is what Klopp does on the last final years at clubs. He did it at Mainz and he did it at Dortmund. He gets too comfortable in the role and he clocks off. Seriously.
But when I said that a couple shows ago, people said, "Oh, don't judge him like that because he was never given the chance." Guess what, buddy? You've been here for how long?
Last season, he was about 2 games away from the sack. I'm telling you. Like, they came over, FSG came over and said, you need to change things up. But regardless of all of that, I think what we need to understand as well is how many fans do LFC have?
Worldwide.
We have so many fans across the world.
Worldwide.
Why would you not, as a multimedia company, have your journalists post loads of shit about us because it's going to get clicks? And that's what's happening. We are a really great club as fans to sell the dream. And we believe it, and 50% of us don't believe it. And that's what's happening right now. Everybody is linked with us. Every journalist is posting anything they can about Liverpool because we need players. We need players more than anyone else because we just lost 4 in a free transfer.
Yeah, let me
You say
let
that-
me just yeah, go on, Cal. Go on, man.
No. I was just gonna say this, and I've been listening, man. Big up to everybody. You K-Mac, you say that we need players, but the serious question is that I need to ask is, does Klopp actually think that we need players? Because with all due respect,
No, because he can name all his midfielders.
Thank you, because that's my issue. Like, I hate FSG more than the other man, and I've always said that after this Jude Bellingham thing that's happened this summer, I'm done with being Klopp. I'm just staying on the fence now because when it comes to FSG, you can't trust these guys. But at the same time, I'm sorry, I can't look past Klopp, man. The guy sits there and says that we don't need another midfielder last summer, saying that we have this player, that player, this player, that player, this player, that player. And then you see that we finished 19th in midfield battles, defensive transitions, and all of that. And you don't sell a single central midfielder this summer. Why is Fabinho still at the club? Why is Henderson still at the football club? Why is Thiago still at the football club? If you're not going to give Thiago a contract extension, what's the point of keeping him here? The guy's going to get injured more. The guy's going to get...
Coach favorite.
Thank you. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. It's like, I'm telling you guys this right here, right now. Barring Alexis McAllister, all of our midfielders have issues, whether it be injury issues or they're just not good enough to play on the football pitch, whether it be they're just too old or they're just too tired. But my issue is that when it comes to FSG, that it's such a hard one, man. I just don't get it, because if I'm looking at the players that we're linked with, Romeo Lavia, Kefram Thuram, and Dominic Szoboszlai, they're not even the same profile of players. Does Klopp know who he wants? Does the recruitment team know who we want? Dominic Szoboszlai is a 10 that can play on the left and the right. He's a goal-scoring player. Kefram Thuram is a box-to-box player. And Lavia is a deep-lying 6. Like, why are we linked to so many different type of profile of players? It's like, and then first it was like Liverpool are appreciated with Nicola Barella. Let's keep it real. Everybody here knows we're not going to get Nicola Barella. So just keep that one out there and then. Kefram Thuram, box to box 8, and what's it called? Alexis McAllister. Like, let's keep it real. It's such a.
I don't really have a problem with it, though.
It's so weird, man. It's so weird what we're doing now, because I just don't get.
I agree, Cal. John wants. I know John wants to go. John, you go next.
Yeah, mate. Thank you, guys. Hope everyone's well. Just on the Jurgen Klopp thing, obviously people saying K-Mac said he was 2 games away from getting the sack last season. I don't believe he was. I generally do not believe FSG would have the balls to sack that manager, because if they were to sack him, I think FSG would be in very, very big trouble with the fans, especially the local fans. How much he's adored at Liverpool, I don't see him having the kind of balls to be able to make a decision like that. But also in terms of why Jurgen Klopp is still at the club and why he hasn't walked away, why he hasn't left, I believe that's down to he has too much love for the club. Now, when he signed his contract extension, the first thing he says was it was Ula. He signed the deal because of Ula. Ula loves the city too much to walk away from the city just now. I see K-Max all going up money. I don't believe they can do money. Jurgen Klopp is a multi-millionaire. He doesn't need the cash. He could probably go to Bayern Munich and make a lot more money. He'd probably go to manage Germany and make a lot more money. So I don't believe money was the whole issue, is why he's saying that contract. I believe it was generally down to the love, not just for the city.
Okay, John, can I ask you a question, John?
Hang on. And before we get, I just want everyone to have a comment, and then we're
going. No, I want to ask John a question. I'm not cutting him off with my thing. He's talking about the love, right? So if you're talking that the love for the club, why hasn't he not? Because when you love something, you stand up for it. I am yet to see anything club has stood up for the club in regard. So please explain to me by where you're saying the love for the club. Because if you love your wife, you'll do anything and everything for your wife. He loved the LFC. I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, 100%. And you're right from what you're saying. I want Jurgen Klopp to stand up for us a bit more. I want Jurgen Klopp to call out these owners. But at the end of the day, you need to remember, FSG are his bosses.
Then
it's
I'm
as
sorry.
simple as that. That's his boss.
then he can't be, or anybody can't be upset when they say a sellout, because at the end of the day, how long has he been at the club? How much money has he made? If he quit the club, is it going to make him a poor person?
No, of course not. But just want to touch on one other thing now, let everybody else jump in. Just when I forget who said it, something about the money you're going to have to waste 160 odd million on Darwin, Nunez, Gakpo, and Diaz. They're three of our best players. So how's that money misspent? They're three of our best players. I don't understand where people are coming at Darwin Nunez.
Darwin Nunez is
He called Darwin Nunez a project.
Guys,
He had to
guys,
play the dude.
Guys, I want everyone to have a chat. Okay, so we'll get back to what John said in a minute. I want to talk to a London LFC fan now. Big up London. What do you want to say, my man?
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine, mate.
Loud and clear.
Brilliant, thank you. With regards to Klopp, in all honesty, he deserves this another season. There isn't another manager out there that's going to repeat what he's done with the budget he's got.
Yeah, fair enough.
We need to be honest there. In terms of why he defends the owners, because they do a lot for him. They've given his wife a job. They pay for his mansion. You might
wait, his wife works for you.
No. Listen to me.
I'm sorry, London LFC. I'm
guys, let him land.
Let him talk. This is interesting.
Okay.
No, I love where he's going.
Okay, so the reason why, as I said, he's come on board. He's got a lot of benefits from this job. He gets a lot of money, and he knew when he came on board what was going to be that he wasn't going to get a big budget. We knew that. So when someone comes at him, attacks him, what does he do? Can he do? He has to defend the club. He has to defend the owners. Anyone else would do that in the same position. He's not going to hang them out to dry. Conte did. Where's Conte now?
At a better job.
No, he's not. He's out of a job.
He got millions. He's going to get a job next year.
Yeah, okay. So he gets in the job another year. What happens to Spurs?
I mean, are you happy with where the club is, London fan? Like, are you happy where the club is? Like that's the question, really.
Okay, am I happy what the club did last season? No. Am I happy with what the club did the previous season? Yes.
Yo, there's no way we're working for us. The hell? Get out of here, bro.
Okay, so I ask the whole panel of question, Jamie.
Yeah, go for a backup question. Then
here's the one question, because as I said, make sense out of nonsense. Remember, we were sponsored by New Balance, right?
Okay.
FSG didn't find that New Balance was doing good enough for them, and they went through court arbitration and everything to get towards Nike. So if it's good for the owners, why is it not good for everyone else at the club? I am confused, because as I said, it's like now they're shifting the goalpost. So please answer. If they can fight as FSG to make more money, so they switch to a bigger brand, why is it unfair for us to want bigger and better, but then we get all these excuses?
No one's saying you can't do that. All I'm just saying, Klopp defends FSG and the reasons why he's defending it. By all means, I want FSG out, but I'm just letting you know that if any one of us was in Klopp's shoes, we'd probably do the same thing.
Not me.
Probably not you, but most of us will.
Most people would most definitely do the same thing. And it's very difficult to stand up to your boss like that. And I do agree, Conte is like, that's very unprofessional. You know, like you don't do that unless you're Jose Mourinho and you manage 15 clubs in 5 years. You don't go out and in public brash the people that pay for your life, essentially. I mean, you wouldn't go into your office and brash your boss for being a dick to you, like, would you? So I wouldn't expect Jurgen Klopp to publicly brash his boss in the same way. I just don't think that it's professional. If that makes sense.
Mike, one question though. I'm pretty sure all the Liverpool fans were buzzing when he did that to his own owners.
100%.
They wanted Klopp to do that to FSG. 100%. We were all sat there going,
Yeah.
God, I wish Klopp would do that to FSG.
It's very much popcorn, and I get it. It's very appealing. It's awesome. He's pushing back, but like just from a broad world perspective, it's not very common, and it can be seen as being unprofessional. And just through history, through case studies, it doesn't work. Like it works when the fans do it, but when the manager does it, and then the owners don't do anything, like what do they care? Because I'm still paying your paycheck.
He wasn't lying. What he did was tell the truth. Like his owners didn't back him. Like he wasn't back. Levy did not back him.
Guys, quiet 1 minute.
Go ahead.
Someone's mic is going mad. Someone's mic is going mad. I think it's Albert's.
Albert looks guilty.
Yeah, I think it's Albert's mic.
No.
Albert was muted the whole time.
Is it me?
Hang on, let me mute you. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, your mic's moving mad, Albert.
Okay, let me check out and call in again, okay?
No worry, no worry.
Yeah.
Right. I want to get a Baz's thoughts now and everything as well, and then we'll open it up.
Yeah, big up, Jamie. Big up, guys. Look, at the end of the day, Cal from Coppish said it, and I'll keep saying it, yeah? They're both in the same... Sorry, they're both in the same...
Jesus Christ.
Sorry. I've got about 3 phones there. They're both in the same bed. They're both in the same bed. And also, what I think, right, even if Jurgen Klopp did speak out, he's the guy's an elite manager, okay? He's loved anyway. If he was... if he got sacked tomorrow or he left, there'll be a number of clubs looking to have him. But you know what? His integrity, him as a person, I think he needs to speak out. I think he needs to do that. And people, I don't think, will actually find it disrespectful. And if they do get rid of him, so be it. You know what I mean? But come on, if I was a manager at Liverpool and I'm not getting this, and I'm not getting the money, and my neck's on the line, and I'm getting pressure from everywhere else apart from my managers, yeah, I'm gonna leave, and by leaving, I'm gonna be saying stuff. You know what I mean? I'm definitely gonna be saying stuff like, we're not getting money. So what if I get sacked? I'll have another job by the morning.
Thank you.
And another thing is, all right, when people say that, what are we gonna have in next? Who's gonna be our next manager? There's so many people that will take that Liverpool job, even with a less budget, and could do probably a job. So the thing with Klopp, yeah, yes, it sounds like I'm being like, an arsey thing, all right, when it comes to, Klopp. But I do like Klopp. Klopp has won us a lot of stuff. FSG have put in the money. Klopp has, done the management. Yes, we need a bit more now. We need more money. We need certain things in Jurgen Klopp to stop. It's just, it is what it is, isn't it? Think that it evolves. Time evolves. You need more money now. We need another manager. We need someone to stick up for. I always say we got to, someone like Jurgen Klopp should be kicking down that door in Boston and saying, I need more money, because he signed a contract. Why would you sign a contract, staying at Liverpool, knowing that you're not going to get any money? And even if he was lied to, you know what I mean? I'll be knocking on that door again. Like I said, be asking, I need the money. Otherwise, I'm out.
Thank you.
Do we know he's not doing that, though? It's all behind the scenes.
One second, guys.
He's not doing it.
1 second. Guys that are super chatting, if you're putting super chats in, guys, I've got them all saved. I will read them all out. Big up to everyone who sent a super chat. I will read them out in a bit. I just want everyone to have their say, and then I will read out the supers. Carry on, guys.
How would we know, though? How would we know what he's saying behind the scenes? It's not reported on. How do we know?
Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening, isn't it? As a manager, all right. As a manager, you're responsible for operations, not for everything else. The big cheese, the FSGs, are there to pick up their money.
So he goes to his boss and he goes, "I want £50 million." Well, let's just say £150 million. They say, "No, we haven't got it." What's he going to do next?
Go.
But
Go.
guys,
He has
we
to
don't
go.
even know whether he's asked.
We don't know anything. That's just it. We don't know much. We go on press speculation, which is
I've
almost
made
clickbait.
no bones about it. Like, I've been FSGM for a long, long time. Okay, but I have to say, and you can clip this, if we don't get 150 million this window, I am FSG out 100%, because there is seriously some fundamental issues wrong if we do not spend, because we have lost 4 players on free transfers, and we were already down to the bare bones last season.
Wait, did you say 115 or 50?
150.
Let me give you all a quick joke, okay? You all can go and Google it. Go and Google it. Go and find out how much money FSG spent on their baseball player from the Republic of Dominica, even though he was not playing and he was just an ambassador. Go Google how much money they paid him.
Wasn't he like 180 odd million?
Thank you.
Something daft like that.
There's
another thing as well. There's another
the difference
thing
in
as well.
American sport, though, and football is that in football you've got to do a transfer, an agent's fee, a sign-on fee, and wages, ain't you? It's totally different. But look, before we go on, I just want to hear from Drew, and then I'm going to read out the super chats, and then we'll carry on. Drew, if Drew,
I think I am in agreement with I think whoever was saying things along the lines of that he wants Klopp to challenge the board and stuff. Again, I did say yesterday, even though Conte did get sacked, I still like the way he did it, publicly, and I think obviously Arsenal fans done the same thing. It's very unfortunate that Liverpool is a little bit of a distance to travel to. Otherwise, I'm sure there would be so many fans protesting every day in and out, just like Arsenal, and then we probably would have got rid of the owners. So again, I guess that's kind of unfortunate. But again, I feel like I would like to see Klopp with a budget, and I would like to give him another season, as long as he obviously gets a budget to begin with, which is obviously down to FSG, which I don't think there will. And then again, I would like to see Klopp obviously buy different variations of players. And then if he doesn't, then obviously I'm more than happy to get rid of him. But I would like us to give him another chance with a budget, and then we can see how he goes from there. As long as he's actually willing to spend and try different formations. For me, it's a lot of things, not just a budget. I want him to play different formations, multiple different formations, not just boring 4-3-3. I want him to do multiple different things for a season, and then let's just see how it goes from there.
Fine.
Variation with tactics. That's what I was saying on my show yesterday. Some of these players that have been mentioned, I do appreciate. I think it was Cal's Army. He said some of these players he doesn't know. I understand that, but I think sometimes you do need to have maybe a number 6 or number 8 or number 10. You know what I mean? Because it's variation of tactics, and that's what we need for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Right, let me just read out this super chat, and then we can carry on. Big up, Ride Shotgun, if it ever comes up. There we go. Klopp earns 15 mil at any club. He doesn't have to put up with FSG. He loves and enables FSG. 2 failed coaches after Klopp will force FSG's hand, says Ride Shotgun. Big up to you, my friend. Big up to you. Guys, and if you do super chat in, I will save them, and then we'll read them eventually when we have a break, so we don't spoil the flow of the show. Right, because a lot of people in the chat are talking, guys. They want a bit of a fairness conversation on the chat because they feel like it's a lot of Klopp bashing. One thing I will say right now, I'm going to go around the panel right now, one at a time. FSG out, yes or no? For me, yes. Maddie?
Hell yeah.
Mike? I'll say yes to Mike. John? John? Yes or no? London? Yes or no?
Yes.
Baz?
Out.
Cal's net out?
I don't even have to ask that question.
I know.
I don't even have to answer that.
Yeah, if you know Cal's net army, guys, you know where he stands. Big up, my man. K-Mac?
If we don't spend 150 million this window, out.
That's an out then.
So that's an out. That's an out.
Big up.
Yeah.
Well, are you, K-Mac, are you balancing out the 35?
I'm going to come to the other one as well.
Are you balancing the 35 from Mark 10?
Yeah.
So you have 115 left, right?
Yeah.
it might be close. Drew?
Might be close.
Yeah, I'm out as well. Yeah, to be honest, I want to want 200 million, but I think that's it.
And
For
Albert
sure.
last
I'm trying to
one.
be a bit fair, Drew.
Do you really want me to answer that?
Just for the chat, so we can give some stimulants here. Because what's
Yeah,
going to
okay,
happen is
okay. Out already and all
the
day.
videos go in, and all I'm going to get told is that everyone loves
Out
FSG,
already
so,
and all day. FSG out.
I'm
So,
still
but
in now. Okay, I'm still in.
Do you know the question with that, Jamie, is like, I think at this point now, in terms of Liverpool, most Liverpool fans are FSG out. It's just that, you know, when you talk about FSG, it just gets to a boring conversation because you can't really do anything about FSG. They're just
To be
here
honest,
until
it's
they
quite
leave.
sad. It's
It's
quite
quite
sad
sad.
because
That's why I very rarely try to talk about FSG, because I can't control anything that FSG do. All I can control is what Klopp is trying to do, and the only information that I get about the football club are when the players talk about it, or when it comes up by what's it called, trusted journalists. That's why I don't really want to talk about FSG, because it's a very depressing conversation, man. It's just
yeah, I
depressing.
can't
That's why I
lie.
just
Yeah.
there's no point.
Our problem is a tale of two cities. It's what our manager is doing or not doing, and what FSG are not doing. Klopp has had several interviews in which he said that even if he leaves, and I'm quoting him, even if he leaves, nothing will change. He says even if he leaves, the budget won't change. He said it himself. And I think that it's a mixture of him knowing that he earns a lot of money, and also knowing that, hey, these people are cut out this way. If I leave, nothing will change. Look, make no mistake, those guys are ruthless. They invited Kenny Dalglish to Boston and fired him, right? They
I'm the
invited Kenny
legend.
Dalglish to Boston and then fired him.
Yeah, but Albert,
He got us to two finals. Kenny got us to two finals and he fired him. Like,
but Albert,
seriously.
Albert, they are only ruthless. Albert, they are only ruthless
very important issues
with the club.
Maddie, give me a moment. I don't want to lose my train of thought. You know,
Oh,
age is
sorry, go
catching
ahead.
up with me. Kemak raised some very interesting issues at the tail end of yesterday's conversation. He was talking about the owners having come back to London to come and remonstrate with Klopp when they realized that we were not going to qualify for top four. What do you guys really think John Henry came to do when we were playing West Ham? He came to London, didn't bother to come to Liverpool. What do you think he came to do? He came to tell Klopp, oops, you've put a 60 million euro hole in our accounts. If you don't resolve this thing, you're going. That quickly prompted a change of formation. We went a long way without losing. And if that had happened 5-6 matches earlier, we would have qualified for top four. So we should all be thanking God that that didn't happen and we didn't qualify. Because if that hole hadn't been burnt in their bottom line, there's no way we're getting anything. We're not going to get Mark 10. We were not even going to get the 35 million pounds of Mark 10. You know, I am at a point where I'm looking at it and saying, what can come, can come. I'm waiting. Let's just see what they do.
You know what
right?
I'm thinking, guys? Listen, John, I'll let you go after me. I just quickly have to say this because I don't really want to forget this.
Jamie, you got to bring up Bruno's comment.
Bruno.
Bruno.
Oh man, I love that guy, man. Listen,
What did he say?
The 275 million
budget. Know your owners, man. Bruno, know your owners. Man. But listen, guys, I'm going to say something that's probably going to make some people think I'm crazy, but listen, in terms of what I'm thinking right now, this is what I just personally believe. I reckon Liverpool don't sign another player this summer without sales going through. That means either Kelleher getting sold and Nat Phillips or something to balance that books, because with all due respect, I've been also called I've been researching a little bit about Liverpool's transfers. Does anybody realize that the last time Liverpool signed a player in July or August was August 2020 when we signed Tsimikas? In 2021, we didn't sign a player after July. We didn't sign a player in July last summer, and we're not going to probably sign a player in August because Klopp loves players to come in before the pre-season, and pre-season starts in 2.5 weeks. Guys, we are in
But
trouble.
he did say in the last press conference, the Villa press conference, that if he has to wait for somebody for 6 weeks because of a tournament or something, that's not a problem. It's just one person. He said that.
He did say that, but at the same time, he also said that his preference and what most likely they will do this summer is they will probably bring in all of their targets before July preseason.
My brother, at
Just
this
one
point,
thing on that.
At this
Just one
point,
thing on that.
nobody is gonna
we
hold
brought
your
in-
feet to the fire if you are agnostic. You have every right to be agnostic, and I think for me, being agnostic right now is cathartic to my soul. What I've been through over Tchouaméni, over Jude, and the list goes on. Look, the last thing that completely took me for a loop was when information was coming out of Liverpool that we were going to sign Mbappe. I mean, what is that?
Oh yeah, when that report,
Anybody who thinks it wasn't an orchestrated leak should stop smoking cheap weed, right? Stop smoking cheap Moroccan, man.
Fan that believed that we were going to spend 300 million
They're
euros.
smoking porch.
Mbappe, Valverde, we are going to sign fucking Valverde. Are you people fucking serious?
Look, the thing about you're talking about we're not going to sign anyone this window now after McAllister. I don't think that's right, because
No, I'm saying without sales.
We've just got George smacked in, yeah, and he's on a 3-month contract, and he's there to look at German-based players. We already know that. That's been told.
I'm saying we're not
He
going to
never
sign
signed McAllister. Julian Ward signed McAllister.
No,
So
I know.
he's got to sign players.
No, I understand K-Mac, but I'm saying that with all due respect, we're not going to sign another player unless sales go through, because FSG are going to want to balance the books. They're not going to say. Do people realize that after this tournament, that if Kefram Tram is on the market and he goes for like 45, 50 mil, FSG are going to want assurances that they can get at least £30 million back on that investment. Something along those lines is going to happen. That's going to drag it out, and then another football team is going to come in and probably get Kefram Tram off us. That's the issue.
That's what I said yesterday. His price is going to go up because he's going to perform.
But let John go. Let John go because his hands
John, go on, mate.
I just want to talk on a couple of things that Albert mentioned. Obviously, Albert was talking about Jurgen Klopp in feeling comfortable in Real. Is Jurgen Klopp maybe in his mindset? He says things won't change even if he does leave the football club. So is he probably looking at it and going, well, I generally feel heart and heart that I'm the best guy to run this football club under this kind of budget, and that's why he doesn't want to leave. And on the other reason, under FSG being in London for the West Ham game, I don't think that was the rattle Jurgen Klopp's cage. I think they were trying to meet investors, trying to get something sorted for the summer, and that's went badly wrong for them. They've never been to London before. They've never been to a London game. The only games they ever go to is Anfield. So why London? We all know London is the hearthold of big businesses. That's where most of the big deeds get done, in London. So I don't think it's anything to do with Jurgen Klopp.
Our office is in London. It's not in Liverpool.
I know, but have they ever been to London? They've never been to London. Apart from a cup final. They've never been to London.
If we're going to speak to Klopp, it's going to be at the office, and the office is in London. It's not in Liverpool. It's in London.
But they've never been to London. They've never been. They personally have never been to that office. The
thing is, the owner of a football club don't really need to go anywhere. He has other people do his work, don't he? It's like the City owner.
Besides, he can use Zoom.
That City owner, the Champions League final is the first game he's seen Man City play in 13 years.
It's amazing, isn't it?
The City owner, because everyone keeps thinking the chairman for Man City is the owner who you see every week. A lot of owners, you don't see a lot of owners. Look at Tottenham's owner. Everyone thinks Levy is Tottenham's owner because he's there every week. He's the chairman.
It's not. It's Joe Lewis.
Yeah, and he's nothing. He's never been to Tottenham. It's just, owners are different. Like I think
that's
Liverpool,
the same with Stan Kroenke and
young Kroenke,
the main Glazer,
don't he?
Kroenke is the worst.
Glazer will only show up if Man United pay his airfare. and his airfare is £250,000 a pop.
Billy Hogan was at the game by the London, and apparently he was at the Bournemouth game as well, which was after it. And there's always FSG people at the Liverpool match. You just don't see them. Like they just want to focus on John W. Henry.
Yeah.
But there's like 12 different people that own the whole of FSG. Like it's a conglomeration of lots of people.
Yes, but the main two figureheads.
And John W. Henry's not the richest one.
No,
See,
but the main two figureheads are John
let
Henry.
me say this. I wasn't taking a dig at Klopp. You see, when a manager asks for Gvardio, right, and you tell him no, we'll give you Mickey Van der Ven. Van der Ven, oh well, he's fast, but he can't really jump. Okay, and like Jamie said in the beginning, how many times has Klopp asked for a player?
Anyway.
How many times has Klopp asked for a player and got something else? And it's a hit or miss. Yeah, Salah and Mane turned out to be true. But by and large, look at what Arteta has gotten today. They've given him what he asked for. So if he doesn't perform, then they can deal with him.
No,
But
Uncle Albert.
you can't
He's getting money for two average players. I don't rate either
He
Declan Rice.
You can't keep doing that. What, like I said, our
He
problem is a
demanded.
tale of two cities: a pliant manager and a set of Shylock owners.
He demanded.
That is a recipe made for hell, and that's why we are where we are. You can't simply blame one party. I mean, you can't.
Jamie's kind of said all this anyway at the start, where FSG have backed Klopp. Okay, they've given him a lot of money. He bought a lot of good players. Like, this is the same route that Brendan Rodgers had. He was backed, and his team got stale because they didn't give him enough money to reinvest in better players.
Same with
Can I just have my say, lads, if that's okay?
Same with Dalglish.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah, but
I was just gonna say, right, I am FSG. I always have been.
Yeah.
Even more so since the proposed sale. But like I said, if FSG go, then you've got to prepare for Klopp to go as well, because they are like conjoined twins. I've always said this, always will do.
Oh, for sure, because a new owner is not going to keep Klopp.
Yeah, they won't. Especially if they got lots of cash, because it would put more pressure on Klopp. He would have to show that he can actually spend. He's given a lot of money, but he would have to show that he can actually spend it well, like Pepper's done.
Well, before we even go on, I know most of you all may have heard it, but the Premier League is about to get more washed again, because the favorite Yanks, as I call them. Do you know what they went and institute now? There's going to be a Club World Cup. And the timing of this World Cup for clubs to play in, it's going to be from, I believe, mid-July, leaking into August. So now, again, money for them, right? Because right now they have a big thing about it. Because the US, of course, is hosting it, and it's going to be
that's why the Glazers might stay as owners of Man United.
It's going to be the biggest soccer event in the US. Notice I didn't say football because they say soccer.
Yeah.
It's going to be.
Hey, come on now. You don't got to trash talk us like that.
No, it's not. It's not trash talk. No, it's not trash talk. It's not trash talk, because there's a debate where I'm a person who said football, and they try to convince me it's soccer. No, football. End the conversation.
I'm just busting your balls. Yeah.
As I said, it's going to be even ESPN was running with the story. It's going to be the biggest event for football in America. And as I say again, the governing body needs to start regulating football, because at the end of the day, everybody now is taking a piece of it because of it being so good in the Premier League, and we are going to get washed, and then other leagues are now going to raise to prominence. Because as I said, look at people like Salah and them who have been playing AFCON and everything else. You add this in every 4 years, then we have Arsene Wenger, whatever the heck his name is. He is pushing for World Cup every 2 years. Make sense out of that.
Can I just make one? Can I just make one point before I hop off here? Okay, so I should have brought this up earlier, but people keep talking about Arsenal and the spending that they've already had. But so just to give you guys a little bit of American perspective, Stan Kroenke owns 3 American sports teams. The Los Angeles Rams won the Super Bowl 3 years ago. That's 1 championship. The Colorado Avalanche won the Stanley Cup 2 years ago. That's 1 championship.
And the NBA talked about the Denver Nuggets.
Yep, and the Denver Nuggets. So I don't think it's fair to compare our spending to theirs because Stan Kroenke is going for the quadruple. He wants to win every single major sporting title, and he doesn't care if he goes into debt to do it. So I'm not viewing this $200 million or whatever spend in Arsenal the same that I would with other clubs because he doesn't care. He's a billionaire. He funded his own build for the $4 billion stadium in Los Angeles for the Rams. Another thing that people don't know is that he owns the Colorado Avalanche, and this past season, none of the Colorado Avalanche's local games were televised because he was so greedy with the cable contract that he said, you know what? I'm not signing this. So the only games that were televised for their team were the nationally televised games. And there's 82 games in the regular season, which means that over 3/4 of their games weren't even watched by their fans. So if you think that our owners are bad, just know, imagine if there's 38 games. Imagine if none of the nationally televised games were televised. Imagine FSG just didn't sign the contract and you couldn't watch the games. Well, that's what all Avalanche fans had to deal with this past season. So anything that's going on with Arsenal right now, I wouldn't look at it with a microscope. I would just say he's more than happy to take on some debt to go fulfill some personal dream of conquering every major sport in the world. And it's not something to base our spending on or base Newcastle spending on or City spending on or anyone's spending on. So just to give a little bit of insight into that.
Oh, no, I agree with you because he put the Los Angeles Rams behind the curveball after they won the Super Bowl because they're completely depleted right now. And they have no draft picks and all that sort of stuff. So I understand what you're saying. But the thing, as I said, where Albert alluded to earlier, where he said that FSG, they are some of the nastiest sharks, but they also succumb to pressure. Because if you go research it, I live right in Boston, unfortunately. I don't support no Boston team.
What's that?
Red Sox, Celtics, all of them. I don't support any of them. But the thing about it, FSG had to succumb to pressure from Red Sox fans. Have you ever heard of management firing a coach but had to rehire him 2 years later?
Alex Cora.
Bingo.
But yeah. Anyway, big up, guys. Take care.
Hi, Jen. How are you doing?
Hi. Oh, Jenny, all right.
And,
I'm okay, thank you.
Good.
And Zia, is it Zia? I don't want to. I'm going to put.
Yes, it is.
Sorry.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, man. How you doing?
Yeah, great show. I just wanted to say it's so good that you're doing this, Jamie, and get everything off my chest. And Albert, I'm so glad I get to speak to you directly today.
Go for it. The floor is yours.
Yeah, your take on Fabio Carvalho the other day on Kopish when you were the last caller is a snippet for the ages. Yeah, it was just pure gold, man. It was just, I watched that to make myself happy every time I see it. I don't know if you guys see it, but everyone should see that. Okay, everyone should see that. Okay. Now I just wanted to just talk about Klopp and just say that actually I'm kind of worried if he does go because I don't think we'll get a manager that can take us to 4 European Cup finals like the way he's done. I mean, that is very rare. He's got us to 3 UCL finals. How many managers can do that? You know what I mean? Using the budget that he's worked with and everything like that. So he knows, what to do. But I don't know if he can actually choose the right players. Because we all know, I think Naby Keita was his choice. And there's some of these other players that he's got, like Karius, I think someone mentioned. And they never kind of work out. But the ones that our stats people seem to pick out seem to work out well. And I'm with K-Mac on a lot of this stuff, that the 35 to 45 million mark kind of works well. But I also think that he doesn't really want to get those really expensive players because I don't, someone like me, when I look at a DM, like I know there was a big fuss about Ugarte or whatever his name is. I think he's just a red card waiting to happen in every game when he plays in this league. I also think that paying 55 million for a DM is like, it's so unsexy. You know what I mean? I can't bring myself to, like, you know, all he does is he just cleans up, right? But there's another issue as well with Klopp. If you get a talented midfielder, right, he turns them, what I call, into recycling dustmen. Yeah? Because all they do is just press and get the ball back. And that's it. That's all they do. They don't do anything else. It's like, you know, Thiago joined and you know, it's supposed to be a swish passer and stuff. I'm surprised he played the amount of games that he played when he was like doing the tackling and everything else and stuff like that. It's just, you know, if he's going to buy midfielders just to press and run, be honest, just get the ones that look the most powerful and that can run and get the ball. Yeah, you're not going to utilize, you know, their talents to actually score a goal or do anything useful. Then don't buy these skillful players. I mean, I bet he was so happy celebrating, having like lots of beer when he sold Coutinho, because at the same time, I could see the advantage of actually selling Coutinho. He got the money, but we also shored up our defense.
Hello. Oh,
I
what
think
happened?
me have frozen a bit.
Yeah, you see, unfortunately for us in Liverpool, today's game is about your defensive midfield. Is he back? Okay. Today's game is about your defensive midfield. Let me take Rodri. A lot of people talk about, oh, KDB this, Haaland that, KDB this, Haaland that. Manchester City's best player, biggest player is Rodri. Without any equivocation, Rodri, and to an extent, Gundogan. The other guys are very good. But without those two, nothing happens.
he's
for
back.
Manchester City. Is he back? Are you
Yeah.
back? Okay, let me keep quiet. After I'll go.
His icon just moved because I was hearing him and then he's gone quiet again.
You see, so like you were saying, if you're just going to buy DMs who aren't up to the task, we're going to keep losing matches. In our own case, when Fabinho was firing on all cylinders, protecting the back four, breaking up play, and getting our front three the ball, what was happening? We were doing well. Klopp seems to want to rely on only his forwards for goals. I think there's a fundamental flaw with that. In the Champions League final, who got the goal for Manchester City and how did he get it? After Inter just threw up, Inter threw up a mid block and they threw up a low block at the same time. I've never seen any team do that. So we need to be able to get midfielders, and basically our midfield needs to work. Our biggest, and everybody, all of us have said it, our midfield doesn't work. Fabinho has been asked. That is why an 18-year-old took him out of his position. The record is sitting there. Had that 18-year-old not gotten injured, Fabinho would have found it hard to get back into the team. So what we need is a refreshment of our midfield. And then today we are linked with this person. We are observing that person. We are addressing this person. We are tapping that person. We are shitting in somebody's front. I mean, what is all that? Get them already. Look, I am the last person to tell you that I agree with paying £100 million for Declan Rice. That's a waste of money. Okay? But if you need to get £10 million Alan Varela, get him. And get him already. Let's know that you've gotten him and tell us why you've gotten him. Nobody will complain. Anybody in the chat, you guys on the screen, tell me if Liverpool had gotten Alan Varela and told us that he cost £10 million, but we see potential. Why? How much did Brighton get Caicedo? They paid £4.5 million for Caicedo. Today, they are not selling him for any less than £80 million. So we understand that progression can happen. How much did they buy? How much did Benfica buy Enzo? How much did Sporting buy Ugarte? How much did Brighton buy this guy, Alexis McAllister? So we understand that. But what Liverpool do is we are linked with that person. Our scouts are watching this person. Our scouts have traveled about 20,000 times to Argentina to watch Alan Varela. Make a decision on him, get him already. Because you keep announcing you are watching him and others are watching. Oh, we've been watching Gabby Viega. You know what is happening right now? Chelsea are going to get Gabby Viega. Chelsea, they are going to get Gabby Viega. Man City are going to get Gabby Viega when we've done all the work. And it happens time in, time out. And we're just getting tired of it. Get somebody and get him already. If you're getting Uncle Albert with his pot belly and his 54-year-old gray hair, get me already. You don't even have to pay me that much. I'm fucking retired. Innit? Give me £200 a week, I'll play. Of course, I'll play like Hendo, but I won't be doing any worse than fucking Hendo. At least I won't be getting in the way of Trent's free kicks. So if you're going to get somebody, get him already. That's all we're saying.
Exactly.
Liverpool always do the same thing.
Like if you're going to...
In the last, Bruno, give me a second. I've been waiting for you. In the last 4 windows, what have we done? We get somebody real quickly, don't we? We're always the first to get somebody. Then we don't get anybody anymore. And then the journalists start their excuses. Oh, we don't have the money. Oh, FSG want to get the right player. Oh, they are waiting for. Liverpool is the only team that had the bridal suite ready, and we didn't know who the bride was going to be. What kind of shit is that?
Well, the question I have to ask everybody who's here, because as I said, I'm going to class myself as the least football knowledgeable because I ain't got no pride or ego about myself, right? But since Klopp has been here, right, to show you how the squad has not been refreshed and overworked, but again, it just goes to show that even some of the midfielders he had, like Hendo and all of them, Jamie, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't Fabinho our highest scoring midfielder in one season where he collected like 9 goals in a season? No other midfielder has done that under Klopp, and he's a DM. So that goes to show you now that Fabinho is washed, right? And if you want to wash players, then you have to constantly bring in new talent. There's no sense you bringing in new talent and then you're telling them, well, you are project. Well, now you can't play because I got my favorites and stuff. Because, as I said, it is shocking that Fabinho, if I remember correctly, scored either 6 or 9 goals in one season, and he's the top scoring midfielder as a DM under Klopp regime. So that just goes to show you the nonsense that's been going on.
Exactly. And it's just pathetic. The whole entire thing is just absolutely pathetic. Instead of talking, and this is what I've been saying, we're doing a lot of talking in the media. Go in there and put a flipping bid in. Like all this chat about, we've been linked with flipping Szoboszlai. Go to flipping Leipzig and go, right, how much do you want for him? 45 million? Right, here's 47.5 million. They reject it, 52 mil. Look at what Chelsea are doing. Look at what flipping Arsenal are doing. They're just gone and signed 2 players. And we're sitting here taking like flipping 10 years to sign a player. Like, what in the name of garbage is this? Last season was dead, right? Like I've told you, I've been on this show 100 times and I've said it 100 times. Finishing second, finishing third, finishing fourth is not good enough. It's not good enough. Last season was dead. Yeah, the midfield, what are you trying to do? You're trying to keep them until they're 85 years old. Like, Fabinho is done. Get rid of him, right? Henderson is done. This guy has been at the club since 2011.
He's the captain.
I don't give a rat's ass. I don't give a rat's ass. Thanks for your services. Pack your bags and leave. The same with Adrian, right? This isn't a retirement home, man. This isn't a retirement home. Pack your bags and get out. Oh, I'm sick of it.
Yeah, we definitely need to. you know what Albert was saying earlier on, just about these players that we've been scouting. I don't see why we can't initially buy these players, for the low fees that they command at that time. And if they're no good or if they need development and stuff like that, do what Chelsea have been doing over the years. Send them out on loan, bring them back, when they're ready. It's the same thing like with perhaps a Curtis Jones or even a Carvalho right now, for example. He's going out on loan. If he comes back and he plays better, then that's a thing. We bought players for cheap. If we're not going to compete and go spend 100 million or 85 million or whatever, that's fine. But no one's expecting us to go and spend stupid money every season. But you know what? Go buy what you need, because then the following season you won't need to spend that money just on maybe other things like maybe a replacement of Henderson or a Van Dijk or something, one player at a time. Right now we need 4 or 5 players. Do you know what I mean? It's going to cost you 4, 5, 600 million. But if every season, like I said, go do what we used to do back in the 80s or the late 80s, go buy one player every season when we were winning the league and winning cups. Buy one player every season. You won't need to spend big like this. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with our scouts. So they say that we've been linked with this guy. We've been watching this guy. We're watching Dele Alli. We're watching Jude Bellingham before he came out his mum's womb. You know what I mean? Watch these players, sign them, put them out on loan if you can't, if they're not there, and that's it. You know what I mean? Bring them back. What's the problem?
Yeah,
I'll tell you what the problem is.
Hang on, Bruno.
It's our owners that.
Hold on, Bruno. Hold on.
I just want Jenny to have her say because she's been waiting. Right,
Go ahead,
Go on.
Hi, Jen.
Tell me what is going on with this? What got me acting with you?
Szoboszlai or whatever his name
Yeah.
is. Yeah,
What's going on with
I just been while you guys were talking, I muted myself and I was just listening. So apparently, Fabrizio Romano has said about him is that Liverpool got till tomorrow to put in a price for him, right? Because his release clause then goes out, and part of his contract, apparently, then you can't bid for him again till the 1st of January. So you got till tomorrow to do it, basically, and then
It's not happening. Then we need to move on.
Then you can't bid for him till the 1st. That's what Fabrizio apparently just said. Melissa Reddy apparently said that Liverpool spoke to him on Monday. There was conversations with him on Monday. They were talking on Monday with him, and the conversations apparently very positive. But again, this is what I keep saying: we talk to players, they want to come to us, and then for some reason we don't realise how much they cost.
It's like getting a girl on Snap, chat to her, ask for a snap. She's chatting to you, but she ain't giving you her snap.
That's like going out. That's like you saying that you're going to go out with Rihanna or Beyonce, but you don't actually meet Rihanna or Beyonce on flipping Twitter or flipping in person. Like, what in the name of garbage is this? That's like you saying, "Oh, I'm going to go to the park and meet Rihanna," but then you get to the park and she's not there. Like, what in the name of garbage is this? Saying that we spoke to him. Go to the club and actually put a bid in. This is why I want John W. Henry out of my club, because this guy has an ambition of a Fleetwood Town.
I think what we need to do, a lot of us, I mean, look, we love Liverpool. We're all eager to see who's coming in and stuff like that. We can't listen to these journalists as well, because you know what? They're going to do our heads in. They're going to stress us out too much by promising us this. And look, the other day they were talking about Mbappe. Yeah, I mean, some people actually believe that. People actually believe that. Some people, you know what I mean? So it's no. Whenever I'm on Twitter, but I never use Twitter. I don't even know how to even look in my inbox. Yeah, but what I do know is a lot of things are active over there. But the thing is, when these people come out, these journos, yeah, it's 50-50. Like I said, they don't work for the club. They just work in football in general. They have rumors. They hear this, or their granddad's cat's dog said something about this, and they're going to tweet it. You know what I mean? As Liverpool fans, we just got to be realistic. Players like him, if we're moaning about, not being able to meet a 30-35 million pound, a transfer fee for like a Kone or a Thuram or something like that, or we're dilly-dallying, what makes people think that we're going to actually break, do this thing with Szoboszlai? We just got to be real in it sometimes. Just look at it and think, just take it with a pinch of salt because it's not likely.
You see, man,
hang on. Dick.
I agree with you 100%. But you see, my main issue with our club, right, especially in some of our fan base, is this thing of it's not the type of like Klopp's type of Klopp's type of player. Every time we'll be like when we're linked to a player, we have this common saying where people are saying no, he's not our type of player we need, and which has been the issue because we rarely find players that really fit, like world class players right now who want to come to Liverpool that fits our style of play. Why don't we adapt to players? Why don't we change the system? Because what we want is to win. Now, all these clubs, if you notice, like for the past 5 years, if you notice what the tactics that Pep Guardiola was using 5 years ago, it's not the same. We are probably one of the only teams who've been using the same formation, same tactics, and I don't know what Klopp wants. I don't know why. I get the fact that he believes in the system and whatnot, and which is one of the reasons why we never sell players. Because when we get the players in, right, we keep them because we create relationships with them. We treat them like our friends. Our family. Is like I think probably all these players they call Klopp their father, daddy. Which is supposed to be business. You're working for the team. That's why it's very difficult for Klopp to sell. Like, look, Henderson will probably by 38 still at Liverpool. I'm not saying you should sell him, but it's time to move. We change, things change. Steven Gerrard left Liverpool. Our club legend left Liverpool. So what's the difference between him and Henderson? All this. Michael Owen left Liverpool. So I think it's time for us to have this mindset of, yeah, you served us well. We can put a statue when you retire, but for now we need you. Even if, okay, fine, you want to stay at the club, be one of the managers, maybe assistant managers at the youth, club. If you still want to play football, go to maybe a championship team, and continue playing football. You come back, and when you retire, come back and work for the club because the team. All these things. We should start doing these things. So every time we're linked to a player, it's not our type of player. No, we want Corner, than Turam. We want Szoboszlai. We don't want Vega. But look at Man City. Man City will literally buy Vega tomorrow. You see where we go tomorrow. But we've been linked. We spoke to his agents and all that for the past, I don't know. And then because if every player is linked to a big club, I think for us it's supposed to tell us something. Like, they literally are a good player, so why don't we get him? We're waiting for another club to now, and then we start bidding wars, which you don't even have the money to compete with Man City. It's I don't know why we know why we do this all the time, and people keep saying it's FSG, but look, FSG they don't even know what's happening right now at the club. They're not the ones who scout. They're not the ones who have meetings with the players and their agencies and stuff. And Klopp has the final say. You'd be surprised. Probably the fans are there for Szoboszlai. But if Klopp doesn't see, because he's looking at the club at the players that he has now, he's like, okay, look at Elliott has been performing in the under 21s. Jones performed well for the last few games. Basetic is coming back. He's looking at all these players that he has. If he start bringing in all this world class, that means he's going to have to find a way to incorporate the existing players and the incomings. So you understand, and him with February. He loves Curtis Jones. He loves Elliott. He never loaned Curtis Jones ever. He developed from the bench at Liverpool. You understand? So it's very difficult. All these things we have to take into consideration, guys, and understand. As much as we want all these players, our manager doesn't work like this. That's why I have to say this,
man. Anyone want to go against that?
I think Curtis Jones.
Well,
I'm not too sure, but I think he did.
The thing with what he said there makes a lot of sense in what he says, but you see, the issue is that he does not follow through, and that is why, as I said, I have a problem with him because, as I said, like someone alluded to earlier, okay, if you go and you sign these young, exciting players and stuff, and okay, maybe they can't crack the squad, but you let them go out and develop. Instead of you keeping them there, they don't develop how they should, then they also pick up a resentment because, as I said, everybody would agree today or tomorrow you have a niece, a cousin, a niece, or whoever signed for Liverpool. Oh, we signed for LFC. But then what is the point you signing for a club and you're not utilized? And like someone said, look at Chelsea. They will take a player, they will send him out on loan, he will develop, and then they will make quadruple amounts what they made. And as I said, like even Jamie helped me out. What's that that midfielder who is in Klopp's basement, the young kid, Majetic or something like that? I can never get it.
Musiala.
The guy is talented. And he is sucking bench. What is the point? Then, okay, he comes and he approaches the coach like, hey, why am I not getting playing time? And you want to punish the guy for that. And then when you look at what the squad is doing, and then like someone also said earlier, I'm sorry, we look at all these young upcoming talents. Oh yeah, they're nice. We never sign them. Other teams go, either RB, Dortmund, or whoever, they sign them, and then they turn around, and then we want to hee-haw about when it comes to paying the price for them. It makes no sense. It really makes no sense. And when I had said earlier, I said, the problem with Klopp is because people use the excuse, well, when he was at Dortmund as a coach, right, that he got fed up of Bayern and these other clubs buying out all his best players and stuff. But for the past 10 years, hasn't Dortmund constantly produced some of the best talent that go to other clubs? So he has no excuse because they continually, they are like a factory machine. They're just popping out a player every year, right? So again, I said, when I said that Klopp can't develop young talent, I mean it because Carvalho, he is a goner. People might say, oh yeah, he's coming back to the club. Carvalho ain't coming back to the club. He's going to be sold because he's going to go and then he's going to be like, I am not coming back into this environment to fight, because a lot of people fail to also understand something about Carvalho. He became and switched to an English player so he can play on the national team from Portugal. Do you know the kind of a commitment somebody does to do that, where there was a starter in the Portuguese team? And he gave up all of that because he wanted to say he had a chance now from Fulham. Klopp is going to elevate me. He's going to showcase me and stuff. And Carvalho can even get a game even if the whole goddamn team was injured.
I mean, look, guys, this debate can go on forever and ever and ever, but we have come to the end of the show. But listen, it's a great debate. Everyone in the chat as well, thank you very much for being part of this debate today. Guys, what I will say, look, everyone has an opinion. I see people in the chat talking about everyone's opinion. Look, everyone has opinions on different things, and just be kind to everyone. And guys, whoever it is that keeps calling into the show and showing things they shouldn't be showing, I banned that person now, so hopefully it can't happen again. Someone in the chat with a racial slur, he's been banned. You won't see him ever again. It's just, why are we doing this, guys? Why are we doing this? It's just a friendly Liverpool.
What in the name of garbage is that?
It's just a friendly Liverpool debate, guys. And yeah, we don't always agree on everything. That's a whole.
But Jamie, before you go, because I've been watching you since you used to appear on Cupish, when you was a hard staunch FSGN guy.
Yeah, man, I changed.
And he has changed. And this is what I tell people. I said, yeah, everybody's into, but I watch people and I use Jamie as like the benchmark, as in like he was in a corner, but then after a while he started to understand, hey, maybe everything is not as juicy as it. And that's all we as other people try to say, like, hey, this is my opinion, and it's allowed to change, or I could disagree to agree. So this is why Jamie is one of my favorite content producers for LFC. It's just sometimes I don't catch him because sometimes the show comes on when I'm out doing stuff. But as I said, at the end of the day, like what Jamie said, like we all here, it's all about the club. You know, so that's why every time I get a chance and I see Jamie has a show where they call in, I try to make it and say, you know, because one of the biggest guys, as I said, who was out there, but he literally stood back and he said, you know what, hey, wait a minute. Let me start to look at stuff from my point of view. And there we have it. So big up yourself, Jamie, each and every time. And much love to her. I hope she's doing well.
Yeah, she's good, man. She's good. Yeah, I do appreciate love, guys. Do appreciate love. Look, it was great debate. We had 2 call-in shows in the last 2 days. Lots of stuff to talk about. I'm sure there's going to be a summer filled of ups and downs, and probably more downs. But you know, it is what it is. Do I think we buy players? Yeah, I think we'll still get a couple of players in. Are they going to what everyone wants? Probably not, and that's going to be the discussion we're going to have. But guys, look, enjoy it the rest of your evening. Enjoy tomorrow. I'll be back the weekend. Whatever you're going to be doing, enjoy it, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye bye for now.
Good one, James.
See you later, guys.